Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now, if you're looking for portable audio, talking about portable audio that you can take to the beach, you can take to the poolside, that you could take anywhere, or even have it in your car for tailgating, but you're looking for something that's not going to take up a lot of space and something that is going to be loud, clear, and have great audio quality, well, you're going to want to check out the Soundboks Go. We've been taking a look at the Soundboks Go now for a couple weeks and testing it out, and I absolutely love the compact nature of the speaker as well as the overall quality. Now, we're no strangers to the Soundboks line. We reviewed their speakers in the past, and they are large, they're heavy, they have great battery life because they're Bluetooth and they're wireless, right? They have ginormous batteries, and they just sound great. So really excited to learn more about the Soundboks Go because it's a baby version of the big brother. And guess what? They don't disappoint. Let's go and check it out. Now, the Soundboks Pro, while small, are packed with power. We're talking about 72 watts and at 20 pounds. So these are compact speakers, but that have real punch to them. In addition to that, you're looking at one 10-inch woofer. You also have one Silk Dome tweeter. It's Bluetooth app enabled, and the cool thing about it is that it does have some custom sound profiles. They're going to allow you to really, I would say, maximize the use of the speaker all the way up to 121 dB. It does have something that's called Team Up Connect, and Team Up Connect allows you to pair this with the Soundboks Gen 3s, right? So you're gonna link up to 5 speakers together. So imagine, a venue, or imagine, just a party, having these up to 5 speakers connected. You're gonna have a lot of power. Now, these speakers also have a 3.5 millimeter jack. They're IP65 rating, which makes these very, I would say, durable. So these are speakers to be on the go, right? And it also has a little strap that you can carry this with. So poolside, beachside, you name it, you'll be fine with this. Now, in addition to that IP65 rating, they have great battery life. 40 hours with minimum, I would say mid volume. So they're not going to be full blast. And then you could actually get 10 hours of battery life if you have full volume. Now, I'll tell you, full volume, they're too loud. So I see you all using these maybe with getting between 30 and 40 hours, depending on how you like listening and how much distance you have from these speakers, because they are super loud. So they really live up to what you would expect from a Soundboks line, as you may have seen in some of the other videos. So let's go ahead and check this out, and we'll take a closer look. We'll do a binaural audio test so that you can hear what we heard and see why you want to pick these up. Let's check it out. Now, the Soundboks Go shares a lot of the same design language and philosophy from its older sibling, the Soundboks Gen 3. They look absolutely fantastic, really like the honeycomb grill, and I also love the overall aesthetics of the speaker. While you'll notice immediately that the Soundboks Go does not have the, I would say like the golf balls on each side, not really golf balls, but the rubberized points on each one of the 4 corners, it's still very well protected, and it shares a lot of the same design elements. Now, while the Soundboks Go does not have these little rubber feet that it has on all sides, or these little rubber half-cut balls, one of the things that it does have is all the way around, you have this rubberized protective border that appears on both sides. That with this strap, this nylon strap in the middle, that also supports a strap or a shoulder strap that you can use to carry this. You'll notice that the Soundboks Go does have this Team ID that's also found in the Soundboks Gen 3, and this is what you'll use to identify each one of the speakers. And the Team ID allows you to connect the speakers together. So while we have the Soundboks Go here and the Gen 3 on the bottom, both of them can be connected so that you can hear music from both of them at the same time. Now, in the back of the Soundboks Go, you'll find its battery. And the battery is the same battery that you're using for the Soundboks Gen 3. If we remove it, I'll just pull this out right here, and we'll pull it out. You'll find that it's a pretty robust battery. It's one of the largest batteries that I've seen in any portable speaker. And you'll notice how it slides in really nicely here, and it's put away into that cavity. Now, you can plug this in, charge it, and use it at the same time. The included charger does have a capacitor that allows you to charge this and also power the speaker. Now, for those of you who are curious as to the capacity of the speaker, this is a honking speaker. You can see here the specs for the speaker. It does have on top here a little button that's going to give you fuel gauge information, so you can see what the fuel gauge is. And again, this is the largest capacity battery that we've seen on a speaker like this. Now, replacing the battery is a snap. All you do is slide it in to this little compartment here, and then you plug it in the top right here. And you're set to go. There's really no power option here that you have to press. This is only going to be your fuel gauge, which is still visible even though the battery's inserted. Now on the backs of the Soundboks Gen 3, you'll notice that it has a Team ID, which is very similar to what you saw on the Soundboks Go. And again, this is to connect them both together. You can turn one into a host and the other one to be, I would say, connected to this speaker so that one of them is controlling. You're not having all three of them controlling. One is the host and the other ones will connect to it. Now, one thing that separates apart the Soundboks Go from the Soundboks Gen 3 is its connectivity. You can see at the very back here, I left the actual plastic on because it's a great indicator of the connectivity options that you have. Purely, having either 3.5 or an XLR really gives you a lot of utility when it comes to this speaker. Now at the very top on the upper left-hand corner of the Soundboks Go, you do have a 3.5 aux in. Now the Soundboks Gen 3 also has, as you can see here, the same battery solution, same plug methodology, everything's exactly the same, which makes them very interchangeable. Now the biggest difference with the Gen 3 that you're going to find is all of the connectivity options right here. And I also left the included plastic here because this is great labeling. So you have your power, you have your dial, which is going to allow you to set the volume levels, Bluetooth, and then you have here the selector that's going to allow you to go from either a standalone solution, a host solution, or something that's joining another speaker. This is easily removable. It's just a little piece of plastic, but it's really, really easy to interpret and understand what the controls are. Now you'll notice also again that the design elements around the dial and the controls that you have here are very similar. You do have the solo mode, you have the host mode, and you have the join mode. So in other words, the Soundboks Go can be the host to the extra Soundboks Gen 3, and also it could also then be paired to it or joined in that team mode. Now to turn on the Soundboks Go, all you do is press this button here for a couple seconds. It will light up. You'll see kind of like your volume indicator and you'll see the mode that it's in. To switch modes, all you have to do is press this once and you go from solo mode to host mode to join mode, all the way up to solo again. Now your Bluetooth indicator will come on, indicating that it's in pairing mode automatically, waiting for device to connect. Now we've connected a binaural mic to our camera to give you kind of what the sound experience would be like if you were here in my backyard. And we also have the app going. I want to go over some of the aspects of the app. So the app has several controls, the ability to power, to change modes from solo to host to join. Also you have bass plus, you have the type of, I would say, it's like an equalizer, right? Are you going to be operating it indoors, outdoors? You also have custom controls, right? So if you want to be able to modify those with the profile, you can do that as well. So you can create a new profile, and then this is going to allow you to really to set up how you'd like the speaker to perform. And you notice that you have various modes. You have a bass plus, you have an indoor mode, and you have also a power mode. So all these areas you can actually modify. Now, in addition to being able to set the modes, this is the application that you're going to use also to update the software, and you can also control the volume really easily just with a swipe. Very responsive. This app is available both on Android and on iOS.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. They kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are.
Now that audio track that we just played really highlights the overall fidelity of the vocal capability or the vocal reproduction, and also the instruments, how clear they come out, the strumming of the chords of the guitar, and you can really hear that scratchiness. It's just a fantastic speaker. Everything is really clear. You don't have any competition between the highs, the mids, and the lows. There's great music separation. Now, for those of you who may be curious as to what mode I was running it in this case, I had it in the power mode, right? So that was in power. We can run things in bass plus. I actually prefer the power mode or a custom mode when I'm doing this. These speakers are plenty loud. They hurt your ears loud. So that's just one thing I just want to highlight, that they're going to be loud enough. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play some bass, and we'll play that track first with standard bass, and then we'll do the bass plus.
Bass.
All right, so that was a standard bass. they thump. I'm telling you, if this is indoor and not outdoor, this would be almost a degree of being painful. They are very loud for such a small, I would say, footprint compared to its bigger sibling. And that was a standard. That was a standard, right? So that was not using the Bass Plus. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to Bass Plus, and we're going to do this one more time and see if you can tell the difference. Let's go and start it up.
Bass.
All right, so what can I say about this? The best way to describe it, if you've ever been in a nightclub where you can actually feel the music pounding in your chest, once you turn on that Bass Plus, you actually feel it. It's like I can feel kind of like that vibration going into my chest as you hear that punchiness. It just has like punch extreme. So if you're looking for that punch and you're looking for something that's going to be bass heavy, well, it's definitely there. All right, so now this next test is going to include both speakers teamed up. And this is going to be in bass boost mode. This is going to be epic. Check this out. I gotta tell you, this will rock a house. This is going to be great for parties. They do well together. I like the fact that one is smaller than the other. So if you're just going to a house party or for a backyard, you can take the Soundboks Go. If you have something that's going to be larger and you just want to have more power, you can take them both, put them across from each other, and they'll sound fantastic. You heard what the bass sounds like. I love that Bass Plus mode. We're going to try that other song just in a second so that we can see what they sound and how clear these are. Now, both of these are going to be in power mode. So I switched them from Bass Plus to this. This is what I prefer for this type of music.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with it.
So guys, that wraps up our review of the Soundboks Go. See you in the next video.